Welcome back to the Coalition Friends YouTube channel. My name is Garrett, and today I'm bringing you a review/thoughts video for The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 5, entitled The Jedi. And holy shit, this is what I've been waiting for from Star Wars. This episode was damn good. So in previous Mandalorian review videos, I have not said, hey, I'm going to talk about spoilers. In this one, I'm gonna... just to let you know, because this is a very good episode that's very plot heavy, a lot of important stuff is said. I don't want to be the one to tell you. I would rather the characters in the show be the one to tell you. So it'd be really awesome if you watch that episode instead of being spoiled by me. So let's just jump into the episode. Holy fuck, Ahsoka is amazing. Can we talk about how her usage of the lightsaber is maybe my favorite in any Star Wars media? Of course, when technology progresses and digital effects progress, the lightsaber stuff looks cooler so you can do more stuff. But I mean, this is just phenomenal. I think this looks better than maybe all of Rise of Skywalker. I did like the Kylo Ren Rey fight in that movie. But if I can say it looks better than pretty much an entire movie, it's got something going for it in a 46-minute episode. And Rosario Dawson plays her so well. The makeup and costume department just transformed her to look like Ahsoka. She is Ahsoka. She's not Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka. She's just Ahsoka. And that was a big worry of mine. I'm so happy it worked out. And the style of combat that she has is just perfect from the cartoon. Just so much to love about Ahsoka in this episode. And however, it does feel like it's a backdoor pilot, as most of these episodes unfortunately do. You introduce a character and you get their world and then you just leave that character. And I want more of Ahsoka. I want her to come along, but she won't. She doesn't want to train Grogu, who is the child's name, or Baby Yoda. I'll talk about that later. But she doesn't want to train Grogu because of the attachment that Grogu has with the Mandalorian. Because that parallels Anakin's attachment with Padme and his attachment with Ahsoka and Obi-Wan. And she doesn't want that love, that attachment to bring someone who has the abilities of the Force, can be a Jedi, to turn to the dark side. What's amazing about this episode is that the style of combat is different. You don't just get people shooting at stormtroopers or other bad guys. You have the lightsaber stuff. The Magistrate has her Beskar staff spear thing, and that was a really interesting way to present a new weapon for Din, the Mandalorian. And it's fucking cool, like he can stop a lightsaber, which means he has something that can go up against potentially a darksaber. And I think the Magistrate as a villain, so complex, so interesting. I really liked her. Very, very cool. It's nice to see Ahsoka up against her. I love the fact that we're getting Thrawn, which again, I feel like it's a backdoor pilot. If Thrawn is the really big bad guy, and Giancarlo Esposito is kind of like your medium bad guy, that'll be fucking dope. But I think if you pull the Mandalorian into that high end of a story dealing with Thrawn, that might take away some of its charm. I do like the lower life stuff, and Giancarlo Esposito's character isn't some like huge bad guy, in the sense that he's not like a Darth Vader or a Palpatine. So, the thing that everyone is divisive about this episode is Grogu. That is the name that Baby Yoda, or the child as I like to call him, because that's what he's called in the show, that's what his name is now. And here are my thoughts. I like it. It's weird. It's different. It's not reminiscent of Yoda or the female Yoda in episode 1. I think her name is like Yaddle. I don't remember. She's in like 2 scenes minimum. Maybe maximum 5. I don't know. But I think this is a name that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni wrote this episode, they had a long discussion with George Lucas as to where the species of Yoda comes from, what their names would be like, because, you know, different planets have different names, their cultures are different, so you could have names based on their cultures, and I think Grogu is something they came up together with, and they said, hey, this is good, this embodies their culture, it would fit into their world if we ever find it, and I think it works perfectly. I'm glad he has a name. I'm glad that Baby Yoda isn't forever what he's going to be called in the popular culture. I like that in the show, the child is not what he is called. He now has a name. There is a bigger attachment level to the character. I think it works perfectly in every way whatsoever. Sure, it's weird, but I love weird. I'm glad it's not like a Jackie or some shit that's basic as fuck. And you can have basic-ass names in Star Wars too. But it's different and fits in the world of Star Wars. I think it's great. So, directing, writing, everything else. Dave Filoni did all of that. If you don't know who Dave Filoni is, he is the reason why Ahsoka exists. He was the supervising director throughout all of the Clone Wars animated series. He is the reason why Ahsoka exists. And he got to write for Ahsoka. If Jon Favreau wrote for this episode, I was going to be worried, but Dave Filoni got to write for his character. And boy howdy, he did a phenomenal job. I love the bleak, dark color palette that you have in this world. It's a forest world where everything is burned down. There aren't any trees outside of the city walls. And then you go to where the magistrate behind her secondary door walls, whatever, and she has a lake, she has trees, bushes, and everything. She gets to have the nice stuff. Everyone else in the world doesn't. So you have this dense, disgusting smog in the show that fills the air and gives a dark color palette where we've been to, like, wondrous, fun places before, and it just brings a tone to like a weird place that I really enjoy, that the show really hasn't gone to yet. And Dave Filoni, having worked on 7 seasons of a show with lightsabers and guns and everything, he makes all the action extremely fun to watch. Ahsoka versus the Magistrate, maybe one of my favorite duels I've ever seen. Very, very good. And the sound design, it's just them fighting you here in the background, while the Mandalorian and the dude he's against are just talking. So good. So good. I can't say how much I love this episode. It's perfect. 10 out of 10. Brilliant. I think my favorite shot of the episode is when she cuts the bell in half. That was fucking awesome. But we also learned that Grogu, or the child, or Baby Yoda, was on Coruscant during the Clone Wars. So now I really want to, I doubt he's going to be in the Clone Wars at all. But I'd love to see if someone can go through everything. Every time we're in, like, where the young kids are learning stuff, if we can see him at all, that'd be amazing. But he was hidden away when Order 66 was in place, so that he was kept alive, because he's like some powerful Jedi and everything. And Ahsoka doesn't want to teach him further to where that powers are exponential and amazing. In the end, she gives them a location to a secret Jedi temple that still exists. They can learn about the Force there, get some important things going. And I'm just excited for where the show's gonna go. I have no idea what this season finale could even look like. There's so much that they presented to the show. I don't know if we're seeing any of the characters that were introduced this season again towards the end. I don't think there's going to be some let's get a group back together and go take someone down situation. I'm very much excited, and this really sparked the life in this season that I need. So good on Star Wars. I'm not excited for like a 32-minute episode supposedly that we're getting this week, but I just want more. I love this show. It's very, very fun. This episode's going to win all the Emmys for them in the production department. Like I said with episode 1, this is a very well-crafted show. I'm gonna forever love it. So those are my thoughts on The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 5, entitled The Jedi. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye-bye! Fuck y'all, this was an amazing episode of not only Star Wars television, but television in general. I had such a great time on this episode. I cried so many times, especially at the end when we're leaving Ahsoka. I just want to see her more. So good.